Make this make sense. Trump wants to get rid of all the black and brown immigrants in this country, but yet he wants to import white refugees from South Africa. Make it make sense.
So Donald Trump wants to fast track white South Africans here because they're facing racial discrimination for being required to give the land back that they stole and profited from. Make it make sense. You colonize a country, live and prosper and profit off of the land that you stole, exploit black bodies for generations, and the second justice starts calling, you get to play victim and get a visa. And of course, Trump is at the forefront. Of course, he's at the forefront of the refugees of accountability. So where is this energy for Black Americans still waiting on reparations? Where is this energy for Native Americans still needing to be sovereign? Where is this energy for asylum seekers who aren't rich, white, and without a Bible in their hand? These people aren't being discriminated against. They're just being told to give back what they stole. It's not discrimination, it's called consequences. What Trump is really doing is protecting a certain kind of power, right? It's the kind of power that always has a passport, a safety net, and a spotlight. And it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Europe, South Africa, here, he's invested in keeping that power. Black and Native people have been brutalized, erased, displaced for centuries. When justice starts knocking for certain people elsewhere, y'all want to come to the rescue? It's not just hypocrisy anymore. It's policy now, apparently.
The group of white South African refugees are not refugees. Refugee is defined as someone forced to leave their country to seek refuge, safety in another country due to conflict, persecution, or human rights violations. The Trump administration has granted refugee status to 54 white South Africans, Afrikaners specifically, who are the descendants of mainly Dutch colonizers, settlers, squatters in South Africa. This group of white South Africans have claimed to have faced racial persecution and theft of farmland, although no proof of such happenings has been brought forward. The truth is that this group of white South Africans are the same ones who are angry about the end of apartheid, Jim Crow in South Africa. These are the neo-Nazis, the Klan, the white supremacists of South Africa. They feel that the end of apartheid and the push for equality is injustice to them, much like the far-right groups here in America, who mourn the loss of their rights to own slaves with the end of the Civil War and the end of Jim Crow here in America. The Trump administration granting refugee status to white extremists after suspending the refugee admissions programs to all non-white refugees, all non-white asylum-seeking groups, while simultaneously deporting minorities without hearings, feels very much like a move that would have happened in 1930s Germany. Government efforts towards equality is not injustice. Unfortunately, we are under a white nationalist administration who does view any and all progress towards equity as oppression against white people. Now tell us again how it's not about race.
The devil works hard, but Elon must work harder. I got on TikTok yesterday and I saw a bunch of videos of people saying how we are supposed to receive a bunch of new Afrikaans. I hope I'm saying it right. But a bunch of white people who are in Africa are coming in as refugees. So I was like, hold on. Let me open the comment section and see what's happening. I opened the comment sections. A bunch of white Africans, as well as South Africans, they are in the comments saying, what are y'all talking about? Refugees. These people are not refugees. They are not experiencing any racism in South Africa. Because that's what the story is. That's what the Trump administration is saying, is that these people that are coming to America, they're flying in tonight. They're coming in tomorrow. They're saying that they are fleeing South Africa because they are experiencing racism from the black Africans there. When I tell you 2025 is 2025ing, because I don't have any other words. So we're about to have a bunch of Elon Musk coming in here. But I do want them to know that this ain't no South Africa. So y'all gonna be learning a whole lot of new things. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
Y'all don't worry about these white South Africans coming here. They about to be the new help. You heard me. They are about to be the new help. They got rid of all the people tending the land. All the immigrants that were tending the land are gone. So what they about to do, replace them with the white South African workers. Y'all gonna be working to feed black folks. As y'all should. Get y'all asses over here and do y'all goddamn job. Y'all think y'all getting away from us. Y'all not. Y'all just gonna be working for us. Come on in the room. See, Trump knew he couldn't get our asses out there. There's no way in hell you're gonna get black folks out there to work no kind of land. But he could say, hey, these South Africans are being suppressed. Their land is being taken away from them. They need to come over here and seek retribution. And get y'all asses in the field where the fuck y'all belong. Make sure y'all picking every fucking vegetable and don't miss out on anything. Y'all not getting away from black folks. Y'all gonna be around us a lot more. And unlike the ones in South Africa, we don't give a fuck. You're not gonna be able to call us colored. You're gonna get your dome rocked. So be careful, tread lightly. And remember, we don't see you as African. We see you as colonizers of an apartheid. Welcome to America.
Apparently, and I just heard about this story, they're flying in 8,000 refugees from South Africa. All of them this color. So they'll tell you they're being discriminated against and we're bringing them over here to give them peace. There's nothing wrong with South Africa. Matter of fact, they're doing great things. They're getting rid of their segregation laws and they're allowing these type of Africans to have more economic power. But these Africans don't like it. So they're coming over here. That's what's happening. In case you haven't figured it out, it is Ray Ray. So I don't know what these 8,000 are planning to do. I hope they realize they're not just coming over to take over anything because we outnumber them. There are more people in this country that are not Ray Ray. So if you think you're going to change the landscape and add more power to Ray Rayness, think again. You will be outnumbered, even down here in Texas. Because I know you're coming to Dallas. Don't come to Houston. That's not going to work out for you. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure there's a Ray Ray city somewhere here in Texas that would love to have you, including that Muskrat city that's about to be built. Wherever you go, don't bring your Ray Rayness here. It's not welcomed. Trust me. But give me your thoughts about this down below. And of course, spread the information, like, comment, repost, and get this in front of as many people as possible. Stay hopeful, trust your gut, and always know you're not crazy.
Mr. Crump, I was wondering if I'm able to get one of those whites only checks that you're about to cut for those white South Africans that's about to come over here, because I know you about to cut them a check. I know they about to get the houses and the cars and the monies and stuff. And I was just wondering, because I'm American and I'm already here. You know, I've been here. I was born here. My family was and everything. And all of us, like, we struggle every damn day. And I'm not the only one. There's some other Americans here too. They all over the internet. So if you can find them, they here. They locally. Mr. Crump, we are suffering already. You already have a problem here that hasn't been fixed. Like, you know, homelessness, jobless, like no money, starving, stuff like that. Like little problems like that, I feel like that you could probably fix. But you're gonna fix it for them South Africans. They about to have, you know, it easy. And I was just wondering if maybe you could have a little time to squeeze us up in there some type of way, you know, as the American people, like the problem that you haven't solved yet here. I was just wondering if you could squeeze us in and cut us one of those whites only checks that you're about to cut, because we struggling here. We refugees in our own country. And I was just wondering if you thought about us when you was, you know what I'm saying. Can we get one of those? Can we get some of that you about to hand out?
Welcome back. So in this video, white Americans react to this breaking news that refugees from South Africa who are Africans are being brought into the United States of America, and they share their diverse views on this particular thing. And I think I really agree with majority of the people who share their views in this video, taking into consideration this period where the United States is trying to deport people. It has rolled out the mass deportation policy in order to deport a lot of people. So if you are deporting a lot of people from your country, how then do you still bring in new people to the country? Is it some caliber of people that you don't want to see in your country? Or why do you even engage in this deportation if you are bringing in some people into your country? Now, what is happening in South Africa, I'm not sure is something that is that brutal or something that calls for people to become refugees. The minority of people in South Africa, that is the whites in South Africa, who make up, I think, about 30% of the population, owns about 70% of the farmlands in South Africa. So the government is trying to introduce this known as the Land Reappropriation Bill, where lands are going to be taken over by the state in order for there to be equal distribution among people in South Africa. And I don't see this to be a bad thing. The minority of people in the country are holding on to majority of the resources. So we are claiming all the resources together and then divide it equitably among the population. Is this something that is difficult to understand? I like the perspective of one young man in the video who says that it is because that this privilege that has been taken away from them, that is why they are going out crying the victim. And this is very much true, because they have been privileged for all these years. So taking that privilege away from them make them feel some other way. So that is why they are reacting this way. I don't know why Donald Trump will agree to bringing all these people to the United States of America. In fact, he was the main person who even made the promise to them that he will bring them to the United States of America. So he's trying to fulfill that promise, but I don't think this is something that the American taxpayers should bear. Fly those people from the South Africa all the way to the United States, and are you going to cater for all of them when they get to the United States? Are you going to set them up for life when they get to the United States? That is, are you going to give them any seed funds for them to begin any kind of business or job opportunities or anything like that, for them to fast track their life or anything like that? I don't think this is something that should call for people to become refugees. And I don't even think that these Africans who have moved from South Africa to the United States are even indeed refugees. Because if you look at the definition of refugees, that is people who have been forced from their home country to leave because of maybe war or any unfavorable conditions in their country to leave. That is when we term them as refugees. But in this case, they are the one leaving. No one has forced them in any way to leave. There are a lot of them who said that they are not going anywhere. South Africa is their homeland and they are staying in South Africa. So I don't see why some of them decided that they will move to the United States of America. The United States also has its own set of problems, and if you are told about some problems in the United States of America, you will not even think of going there in the first place. Anyway, let me know what you also think about all these in the comment section below. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.